Good morning, guys. We're going to attempt to bale some straw today. We're getting kind of low on square bales, and we got bukus of round bales, so we're going to try to switch some. And as you can see, we've got a little setup going on here where we can accumulate them and pick them up with a skid steer loader instead of stacking them on the trailer. Now, this doesn't work perfectly, but it does work good enough that it's a whole lot better than stacking them by hand. What I mean is most of the time the bales don't slide all the way out. I don't have the accumulator high enough really to get this on enough angle, but I can't really raise this any higher because it gets this. I even had to put something at the front wheels, under the front wheels, because it was getting at such a bind that it was bending the bales too much going up the chute. And if I raise this up anymore, I'll have to raise the baler up to get it to work right here. So this is about as high as I can get it, and this is as much slope as I can get on this without digging a hole in here, which I have thought about. You know, I'm not beyond digging a hole in here if I need to, but it's working good enough. It comes out far enough most of the time you can get a hold of it with the grapple and drag it back enough the gate will close, and then you can go on with what you're doing. Another new thing we've done here, and the reason why we've switched to the John Deere running it, we've got a remote control valve right here that's running the machine. That's different and new, and we're running the hydraulics off of the tractor that's running the baler, and that leaves this tractor free all the time to run around and getting bales and stuff. The reason that the 4600 got booted off the baler, I did try it here running the baler, is it didn't have enough hydraulic flow to run this thing fast enough. It would run it, but it wouldn't run it fast enough to be efficient and do what it needed to do. So, and of course this tractor here, we're using it to handle the bales. And I got a leak on my grappler over here for the square bales. I thought it was on the skid steer, but come to find out the leak was on the grapple. I'll show you what it was. It's flat face fitting. It's leaking. I wasn't sure if it was this side or the other side that looks like this right here. This part is on the skid steer, obviously, that this one hooks to. But you would think, see, this one has the seals in it, and you would think this is the one that always leaks. But I've actually had the other end, the male end, start leaking before, and had to replace those also. So I wasn't sure which one this time it was until I hooked this up to my tractor instead of the skid steer, and this was still leaking on the tractor. Not as bad on the tractor though, so I don't know, it still could be the other side, but this side was leaking with the tractor too. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a new one on it. I got a new one here. We keep these things in stock, so we make hydraulic hoses and stuff here, and Dad tried to keep a lot of fittings and stuff that we commonly use. So anyway, I'll go ahead and put that on, and then I'll get the equipment warmed up and try to bale some straw. Do some baling on a 19-degree day with 40-mile-per-hour winds. Ooh. Okay, it's 19 degrees this morning. It's the wind is blowing like crazy, but you know, it's not blowing in the building, but it's still 19 degrees in here. We're gonna go ahead and start this tractor. Glow plugs are on, and start. All right, now we're going to start the John Deere. Okay, John Deere, what you got? Turn the key on, you ain't got to push your clutch in on this tractor. Glow plug light is on, it's right here. Alright, it just went off. Fired right up. Whole lot quieter starting than the Massey. The Massey is really loud when it first cranks, but it quiets down as it warms up. So we'll let these machines warm up. We'll go get some breakfast, go get a biscuit at the store, then we'll get started baling. I got to get this tractor down there and get a bale, ground bale. All right, one thing I want to do is make some room for this straw we're going to bale. I want to make some room for it in here without blocking in some of this first cutting hay. I still got some first cutting hay. I still got some second cutting hay. But I want to move these two stacks and that little stack there, and I want to put them over here in front of the other first cutting hay, and then that way we're going to start stacking straw right here is my plan. So I'm going to go ahead and the first thing I need to do is move some of these pallets right here out of the way so I can stack hay on top of those pallets without the pallets being stacked on top of each other. So I'll do that with the John Deere, the little 1026R here. That's what I got. I have it in here to move stuff like this. First bale, and we're cleaning up a little bit. We had a little bit of a mess. Well, that was me the other day when I was baling. I made a mess. I busted a big bale and it fell over on the, fell everywhere. So while we had this thing up, it was cleaning out from under. I got a couple helpers today. This is Daryl, and Sean's in the tractor right here. Y'all know Sean, probably don't know Daryl. use out of this stuff. This thing, put another bale in it. Swing this out of the way. Cut the net off of it. It's the first thing I do. Look at all these holes. I bet you that's where mice have been in it. Crazy. This is the hardest part of the whole deal, is trying to get the bale started, not plug the baler up. If you get it rolling like I just did, most of the time you're pretty good shape. Sometimes it's really hard to get them rolling. Hey Darryl, push that right there, push that on in the baler. This machine that I'm unrolling with is a little bit wider than the baler, so sometimes some of it comes out over here. You got to help it a little bit. I'm going to drop it back down. When you do that, it makes the bale slow down a little bit when you turn it on full speed. Done broke 2 shear pins this morning, so I'm trying to be a little more careful. Just had another bale go in the accumulator. Smaller, you have to raise this platform up to keep it working. There's no chain in it. There's no floor chain. It just has little beaters in there that rotate the bale. It's got 2 beaters. One's going slow that rotates the bale, and then there's one on top going faster that digs in the bale and throws it over top. Pretty neat how it works. This machine can also be used on a 3-point hitch to unroll bales to feed cows. It'll put it back out in a windrow, kind of like it was when you raked it. it's going to trip the accumulator. This side didn't come out as good, but you can just push it out by hand pretty easy. Dad, he's gonna help us. Right there.
Can't get it to tilt back.
Can't get it to tilt back. Unhook your seatbelt, hook it back up. When we go up a layer, you're going to have to turn them around. Set it down over here and drive around and pick it up from the other way. Put that pack right beside over here. Put this pack right there. Leave about right there. Leave about that much between them, 8 inches or something. This is where it gets tough right here. In the center of the bale, you got to be careful not to throw the whole thing in there, or you'll shear a pin, because I did that a minute ago. Once you throw it over the top of that auger, there ain't no getting it out of there. It's going in the baler. So if you mess up and accidentally throw that whole thing over, that whole center of that bale in there, then it's going to shear a pin. If you ain't going in there after it, I wouldn't advise it anyway. Let me see your pitch for Sean just sent me another one in, and I'm gonna try to start it. Finding some great old big rocks in this straw, which isn't good. It's not good for a baler. I mean, found some rocks in there like this. Crazy. They must have had a ground driven rake, one of them sunflower rakes. They're good for breaking your rocks up in your windrows. That's what mine was, the one I had was good for. That's one reason I got rid of it. Don't like rocks in my baler. About to dump another pack of bales out. Them out. If they just go about 3 foot farther, it'd be good, wouldn't it? I'm sure y'all all have suggestions on how to fix that. I'm open to suggestions anyway. I don't really want to dig a hole in the floor, but I can. I can't raise this anymore. But you know, that's not really that bad, just having to slide them down. And actually, when I was doing it, I could use the grapple and grab them and slide them back, and then it would close and I didn't have to touch them. But Sean isn't quite as good with the grapple. He don't have as much experience as I do with it, so I didn't even show him that trick. careful with all that boinging, I'll have the whole thing in there in a minute. The battery's gonna die on my camera, saying dead, I'm dead, I'm dead. It don't like cold weather. Still got a big old mess in there. I believe there was 2 cores in that bale. Hey Darryl, pull a little bit of that down in there, please. There you go. I got Sean bringing up some more bales from the lower shed. We got a bunch of these bales over here that are the same thing, but we're trying to clean out some room down in the lower shed so we can put some more equipment down there. But it's after lunch. We baled a few bales before lunch here. I think 7 bales, and we've got 80 square bales out of 7 round bales. So it's just what, 11 bales per bale basically, maybe 11 and a half. But anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. And this cold windy day, we'll see y'all later. Okay, so here's what we baled today. One fell off from up there. Sean does okay stacking, but he's not the best yet. We baled 190 bales. There's 180 here and there's 10